Greetings, two-wheelers. My name is Old Man Ronin. Welcome to the channel. Do we really need another motovlog channel? Hell yeah! This is our very first public video. I've done a couple tests, played around a little bit with cameras, trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I was inspired by two people, and I gotta mention them. Shadetree surgeon down in Florida. Met him when he was in Columbus for the AIM show. Great guy, very inspiring, funny as hell, and without a doubt my favorite motovlogger. So much so that he inspired me to try to do this too. I mean, I've been riding a lot longer than old Shade, and that's cool. He's a younger guy. Hell, I've got children older than him. Oh God, I'm old. But seriously, he's a great, if you haven't checked it out, I'm going to put a link down in the description, and also maybe a little flag on how to get over to him, and maybe a little card on how to get over to him, because it's a great channel if you guys haven't seen it. The other one, Blockhead Moto. Block, I didn't get a chance to meet him when he was at AIM. He had a huge line there, but I'll tell you what, he's got some really cool average man, working man mods and videos. Although he is riding a sport bike now. Just kidding, those are alright, no worries. As long as you're on two wheels. And that's what this is going to be all about, folks. This channel is going to be about motorcycles. Now, I do have a preference for Harley-Davidson, but that doesn't mean I haven't had other motorcycles in my life. I've had Hondas and Triumphs and Yamahas and Suzukis and Norton, but I always have had at least one Harley-Davidson in my life. We're going to show you the different bikes throughout this year. I don't know if I'm going to concentrate on this bike today we're riding. It is a 2009 Sportster 1200C that I completely rebuilt. What I want to tell you a little bit about our channel, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to not spend $1 billion and get a good piece of equipment. This bike here I bought for under $1,000. I'm not going to give you the exact price because nobody believes it anyways. But I bought this bike for under $1,000. Luckily I have a little bit of mechanical background. When I was a kid I used to tear shit apart. My dad used to get so mad at me. But with that said, I know a little bit about how to work on motorcycles, especially Harley-Davidson, and I was able to rebuild this bike from the ground up. It was rough. Give you a little hint, it was ridden on the beaches of Florida and then put up for 8 years. So that should tell you a little bit about how, hello bikey, a little bit about how rough this bike was. I was able to strip it down, find a bunch of used parts, repaint it, put some additions to it. I rebuilt the engine and made it a 1250, a little bit heavier cam. We can get into that later when I do a profile of the motorcycle. But this is what I call my garage queen, and the reason why I bought this bike to rebuild to take out to the El Diablo run in California. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work with this COVID stuff. It is not till 2020, I do know that. However, I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it. But I am going to take some long trips on it, do a little bit of motorcycle camping on it, and some general adventures all the way around. It is a great running bike, and it is one of my favorites to ride. I've always loved Sportsters. Everybody says, well, it's a girl's bike. Yeah, it's a girl's bike, and a guy's bike, and an old man's bike. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to stop at a stop sign. That's what I'm going to do. But I really love them. My wife has an Iron 883. My daughter has an 883 Super Low. I've had my very first motorcycle, shifting motorcycle. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had a Rupp 100 when I was 6 years old. I don't know if a lot of you guys can't or don't remember or don't even know what a Rupp motorcycle is, but they started at go-karts and mini bikes, and they ended up going into small shifting motorcycles for a few years back in the 70s. Yes, I am Old Man Ronin. But with that said, my second bike when I was 14, I bought an old 1966 Sportster XLCH, and of course, being at 14, 15 years old, first thing I did was put knobby tires on it and rode the shit out of it. I mean, it was an off-road type bike for me. I mean, I was riding on the road. I don't know what the what do you call it? I don't know if the police can still arrest me for riding on the road when I was 14. But that's what we did, and it was a lot of fun. My buddy had Jimmy had an old Honda Dream 90, and his brother had a 90 Trail Hondas back in the day, and they were a lot of fun, And of course, I had my little Harley, 1,000 cc's out there in the dirt. Jeez. But then I graduated to other bikes as well too. Bought a FLH, used, obviously. I've only purchased 2 brand new Harleys in my life, and that was one back in the early 90s and then in the early 2000s, and I loved them. They were great, but I ended up selling all of them. When I sold my newer bikes after a few years, I was able to purchase 1 or 2 other bikes cheaper, and actually would take one bike, sell it, and buy 2 bikes. And it's kind of the way that I like to do things. I love riding different motorcycles. I mean, and I'm not a rich person. Hell, I've done everything in my life, from being a bouncer and a bartender to a chef to a truck driver, you name it. I've done a little bit of everything. Did a lot of security work as well too, but that's neither here nor there. Right now, I'm kind of working my retirement through a food truck in East Central Ohio, and it's very rewarding. We were rated the best food truck in Columbus for 2 years in a row, and we've only been in business 2 years, so hopefully it says something about my abilities for kitchen stuff, but hopefully watching this channel you'll see some of my abilities for motorcycle stuff. But it's going to be a fun trip. Like I said, we're going to do a profile on each one of the motorcycles that I have. Right now I currently have the Garage Queen. I have a 2008 Deluxe, which I was actually thinking about selling it until Harley said, well, we're going to quit making the Deluxes in 2020. And I said, keeping it, but I've got it semi-cholo style. I bought it obviously only a couple years ago, and have done a little bit of mods to it, not much. And my pride and joy is my 2001 Road King. I built it from the ground up. It is literally a 88 turned to a 96. It runs like a raped. I've got a Thundermax tuner on it. I got rid of the original throttle body and put on a new Harley-Davidson throttle body that's been ported and polished, and it just literally smokes. I ride it everywhere. It's the one I ride most. It's my Road King, and you'll see it down the road as well too. But I wanted to say hello, introduce myself again. I'm Old Man Ronin, and this channel is going to be for you. We're going to do a lot of different things. We're going to do some motovlogging, obviously, like we're doing today. We're also doing probably a little bit of bar hopping too. I have a really good love for beer and wine, and so we're going to go to local breweries around the Central Ohio area. Man, we got a little bump going on today, man. Get out of that rut. But we're going to go to some breweries around the Central Ohio area. We're also going to do some wineries. Ohio wine is unique, is the best word to describe it, but there's quite a few places that have some fantastic summertime fruit wines, and that's what we're going to concentrate on later as well. But we're also going to do bike builds. My next project is going to be buying either an 883 or 1200 and either turning it into a chopper and or a scrambler. Haven't decided yet. Or I'm going to buy an older Triumph and then restore it into its original condition. I really love Triumph motorcycles. I had the last one I had was a 2015 Speedmaster, and I really loved the bike. I ended up selling it for exactly the amount of money I had into it after a year, and didn't really do anything to it. It was stock. It was quiet. If you watch Shadetree Surgeon's videos, it was nothing like the way that him or Flipnaw, which is another great YouTuber, have done to their. I just wanted something like a quiet tour that I could take back into some of these little state parks around Ohio and have a good time with it as far as being quiet, which that lasted literally 2 months. And then I said, well, it's time for me to get back on the Harleys and some noise. This bike right here has some short shots on it, some Vance Hines short shots, and it's quite the throaty. No baffles, obviously, but it's a lot of fun. It rides beautifully. I would like to do a Legend suspension on this down the road. Maybe Legend is watching this and they can give me one. I'll show people how to install it. But until then, I got to save money, which means that down the road I'll probably open a Patreon page and then do that kind of stuff. But right now, I'm just trying to get started. So what I want you to do, please, folks, like the video. Even if you didn't like it, like it. No, I'm kidding. Please like it. And then comment, share, and subscribe. If while you're subscribing, hit the bell notifications. That way it'll tell people, or tell you, when I've got a new video coming out. And I'm going to try to do at least 2 a week. I'll probably release them on Wednesday and Sunday to stick with that. I'll tell you, a lot of the channels do that. I know Blockhead does his on Mondays. I think Mondays, and of course Shade and Flipknot always do theirs on Sunday, and I think Shade always does his on Wednesday as well too. But it's good to have good quality content, and like I say, the first few here are going to be mostly motovlog and adventures. I will be digging the old motorcycle tent out and doing a little bit of tent camping with it. I'm a country boy, so I live out here in the hills of east central Ohio, and so we have lots of places for you to pitch a tent and take your motorcycle back in the woods and have some good times with it. I like to do a lot of things alone or with my wife and or daughter. We actually have another channel called Our Life on Two Wheels. It has not launched yet because we're going to be doing some cross-country stuff in the future. In fact, I'm still thinking about taking this bike to California. I've been to California 9 times back and forth. I've been to Mexico once and I've been to Canada more than a couple times because Ohio is a border state. But I thought about riding the Sportster. A lot of guys say, well, they're uncomfortable, and yeah, your butt will get a little tired after a while, but you know what? If you love to ride, you make it work. Isn't this Ohio scenery beautiful? But like I said, I know Shade's trying to do a $2,000 challenge where he's going to buy something off Craigslist or eBay or Facebook or wherever, and then ride it all the way to California. And that's really cool. That's a great idea. Hell, I've got that. I don't know if I'm going to do the similar type of thing, or maybe I'll just loop the Great Lakes, which is another exciting thing to do. But you got to wait till the borders open up, which means why California would probably be a better trip. I've always wanted to take a trip on a motorcycle through Idaho. It is the only state in the union I have not been in, which is stupid, but I don't know why. I've been in all the other 49. But that may be a trip down the road too, just to say I went to Idaho. Well, I really hope you enjoyed the channel, our very first video on Old Man Ronin. It's been a lot of fun so far. Like I said, I was able to get some of this camera equipment used, obviously, because I'm a cheapo, and install the stuff on my helmet and on my motorcycle. And it's been a blast for me learning how to do this, which I'm by far no expert, but I really, really do enjoy sharing my life adventures. I have a lot of stories, and we'll learn a little bit about them as we go on. I've been through a lot of stuff in a lot of different places all over the world, and it's going to be fun talking about it. It's going to be fun sharing our motorcycle life, and it's going to be fun building bikes and test riding them with you. Boy, it is beautiful out here. So until next time, like, subscribe, comment, share, let me know what you think. Thank you for joining Old Man Ronin. Keep it on 2 wheels, baby.